to emote with our eyes.
To the lessons from Tyra Banks. Back like kings, queens, and in-betweens to another episode of the This Week in Weeb podcast, back in its original form.
Is the original recipe.
Yes, the original recipe, This Week in Weeb podcast. Off to a great start. So I am Jeremy of This Week in Weeb. I am joined by Miguel in live action of Felty Bear.
Hello. We're shaking off the rust today, man.
Yes.
We just gotta shake it off, shake it off, shake it off.
And my big thing with bringing back original recipe podcast is I want to have fun again. That's really my thing.
Yeah. It's not that the other stuff that we did or that you were doing or are doing even is not fun. It's just that I think sometimes it's so easy to get lost in the details of algorithms and this and that and everything. You end up just not enjoying what you're doing anymore. So I think sometimes going back to basics, like, let's just hang out and talk and hopefully find our audience some way, sprinkle in some little weeb stuff here and there. We should be all set.
Yeah. Well, I was moving on to the shorter form content, like trying to get out, 5-minute reviews. Should you watch is basically around between 4 and 6 minutes on average. And that was like, hey, watch time. People will watch more of it. Higher percentage. YouTube will push it. So try and get, through that. Then we were getting flagged by all our anime content. It was like, well, we have to use less content if the content's shorter.
I'm too hot for the censors, man.
Too hot. And then, it was just coming down to like a grind. It was really like, let's go sit in front of the camera. Let's talk about this anime for 5 minutes. We can't really go into very much detail on it because, you only have a certain amount of time. 5 minutes, you eat through 5 minutes real quick. And then I wasn't really having as much fun with the discussions anymore. I want to sit here and have, a conversation. I missed us going off on our diatribes and talking about.
Yeah, now we're talking about what we're supposed to talk about, all the things. Yeah,
that was the fun thing. So I'm trying to bring that back. And what are your sort of ideas when it comes to, being a content creator at like our age range? What do you think that is?
It's always scary to think our age range. I saw something the other day where this guy, it's a little silly meme. This guy, you hear him crying, he's staring at a computer screen, and you see what he's staring at, and he has to go from one age bracket to the other one, and he looks so sad. And I was like, I felt that. I think it's one of those things, kind of like, not to do a direct comparison, but I feel a lot of ways that you and I, for this kind of content creation, is kind of like acting in the sense that if you start at a certain age, you can kind of get your stride, get a famous, and then just kind of starting very late, like many other things, like not specifically acting. It's just harder because you have everyday responsibilities, duties, tasks, chores. Like life happens to be very, very cliche, very, very fast. And then before you know it, it kind of gets ahead of you. Next thing it's like, oh wait, I can't go on, Hot Ones challenges and film it for content because I need to get up at 6 a.m. and it's gonna upset my stomach. And they're like, oh well, that's what's getting older.
Speaking of our age range and maturity and all that, I just want to point out that you said duties.
Yeah. I can't say anything. I'm the one wearing a YouTuber t-shirt and a Zoom hat. I mean, what is it? What I've learned in my many, many years is growing up, people tell you that you have to kind of let go of certain things when you get older. Like you have to stop being a kid, have to stop enjoying certain things. And you think, oh my God, being adults can be so boring. But we're now living at a time where you can absolutely enjoy all those things, throw yourself into it, and have fun with it, and still be a functional adult of society. And it's hard when you want to make content about it because to do content the way you should do it, you have to dedicate your life to it. You have to dedicate your time, your energy, everything to it. And if you don't, you lose a day, you lose a week. And then those things snowball. And I say, no, it's like, okay, now I don't want to do this anymore. So I definitely feel it when you say, you want to get back to basics. Anyone who's visited the Feltygram Instagram channel, Felty Bear Instagram channel, will notice that we actually haven't posted in a while. And the reason is because it became a lot. Because to put in energy to certain pictures and posing the figures and everything else, and like really taking a lot of pride in it, and then not seeing any kind of result. Not that we ever really we're obsessed with clicks or views or anything. We're just having fun with it, you know. But to see certain things that you put so much energy into, not get any kind of recognition or anything, it's a little disheartening. And then the random things that you put no energy into get a ton. I think I haven't checked in a while, but to this day, one of the posts that we have the most views, comments, engagement on was literally a 30-second post I made while at work, where I had posted a picture of a Snake Eyes figure that had broken his foot, and I posted it online to say, hey, does anybody have any recommendations on how to fix this? Tons of people just like messaged and commented. I'm like, oh, okay. And this is like one of our top posts. But then there are posts where we put like special lighting and effects and props and this and that and editing and nothing. And then at some point it just came to like, you know what? I'm starting to dislike this now. And I don't want to dislike toys. I love toys. Toys are my life. So I was like, I got to take a step back and I got to wait till that passion and that kind of like enthusiasm for it hits again. And then I'm going to jump in full force. And every now and then it does. And then you just fall asleep. But yeah, you have to do what you enjoy. You have to kind of, your time becomes very limited as you get older. So you want to definitely enjoy it as much as you can and do what you can with it.
You have to make content for your ideal viewer, and your ideal viewer is someone like you. So that's what I keep hearing. So I'm going to make content that I like to make, that I like to consume, and try and, you know, make that connection, because I think at this point I can't do the sensational, like, algorithm chasing, you know,
it's too much.
High impact editing kind of stuff. It's just not a thing that I'm into. I can do some, you know, fun edits. I did a couple of things that I had a lot of fun making. I really
liked your edits.
Yeah, did like
flagged, but they were really good.
Yeah, going to like our Weeb Wars episode on Pokemon. I had a lot of fun making that.
Yeah,
it did terribly once it got posted, but a lot of time and effort and, you know, creativity, I think, went into that. And I had a lot of fun making it. It's just I don't know if I have it in me to do that kind of editing on a regular basis, especially if it's not paying off, man.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's hard because you're so proud of it, and logistically you want others to be as proud of it, or at least acknowledge the work you put in. When they don't, it kind of feels like a wasted effort. Even though you enjoyed it, it takes away from it. And when that slowly eats away at your joy and your happiness and your hobbies and everything else, then you're just like, what am I doing then? So you gotta just, you know, exactly. I think this is a good opportunity for you, for me, to kind of start over, you know, just at its core was supposed to be just two people speaking on things they enjoy with lots of fun anime, nerdy, geeky stuff along the way, and seeing what happens. Like I said, going for an audience of people like us, which nowadays is a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to think like the main, like everyone says the 70s were about like music and stuff and everything. And it's in the 80s we started getting a big resurgence of like Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, anime and cartoons. As people, oh my God, I love those 80s shows. And just kind of kept going into the 90s. And it wasn't until like the early 2000s that it became much, much, much more mainstream. And now all those things are seen as like the cornerstone, the foundation from which all these things were built. So people our age are the ones who are very geeky and nerdy and kind of finding their stuff. And that's why Funko just released a $250 Voltron Funko Pop called, I think they call it Jumbo Chan, which
Jumbo Chan,
I very much went back and forth on wanting to buy it. I couldn't bring myself to because I don't have money. I'm poor, but it's adorable, and I think it's a new series they want to do with their Funko license of things. But it's very cute. It's very adorable. It's supposed to be 14 inches, I think. Yeah, I see you bringing it up, but yeah, it's adorable, man. It kind of harkens back to those like old school Japanese kind of art proportion.
I like that,
like Astro Boy.
Yeah,
$250. I don't like that. It's too much for me.
Well, they realize that the people that are into that are the ones that have disposable income now.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've spent that much on toys. I as much as I do love Voltron, and I do love Voltron, I don't think I could spend that much. I do have the little Voltron Funko Pop, and I have the bigger 6-inch Funko Pop, and I have die-cast toys and plastic toys and Legendary Defender and classic Voltron and Lego Voltron. There's Voltron all over my place, but I had to draw a line somewhere, so that was the line that I drew.
Yeah, Elaine's addiction is
Wrong Pokemon, I know.
the anime figures that we see in the background.
Yeah. This is all, not all, majority of it is Elaine's. This is not even,
Pretty much all of the ones that are in that shot, except for maybe a couple of the Funkos, are Elaine's. So
and behind you, the little cat girls.
Yeah, the little cat ones. My stuff is on the other side, which you can't see because of where the
so
the
Elaine's merch is getting all the spotlight right now.
Yeah, like I'm a Harley, but even this is something that Elaine got for me. So this was a present.
She has good taste.
Why are you looking at my face? Look at Harley. There you go. That's focus. But that's her kind of addiction. Yeah, and that gets up there in terms of the expense, especially getting them from Japan. Like we posted a review of it, an unboxing. These Frieren figures.
Okay.
These were Japan exclusive, and the one, if you got the Japan version, that was the only version you had to get it directly from Japan that had the Himmel statue in it.
Oh,
focus.
You gotta put your hand behind it like the beauty.
There you go.
See?
But you had to get it directly from Japan. So, yeah, hobbies are expensive.
I mean, it's funny because I saw a meme once of this person who bought like this full size 1-to-1 scale Lucario plush, and it says, "What happens when you give nerds adult money?" And it's true. I mean, this is what it is. Like back in the day, you'd have to like do a little job, a little side work, get an allowance, whatever it is, whatever you did to get your money as a younger person. And then when you're an adult and you have adult money, after, of course, you paid your bills and everything, you might have some extra income and say, you know what? I'm going to buy this thing because I can. And those little things, while they're probably very financially wrong, it's nice. At least for someone who enjoys collecting things, it is nice. I buy such random things sometimes, and I definitely have buyer's remorse. Like, I didn't need that, but you know what? Like at the same time, like that little push of serotonin was enough. I like, all right, I have it. For example,
cheaper than drugs.
Yeah,
well, honestly, not.
I don't know.